Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour Reading Show. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour Reading Show, Kelly Brickle.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being with us here today on the Psychic Hour, right? Word salad. We have the wonderful Kristina Bloom in the house today. I'm so happy to have her, and we're doing a reading show. So we will be talking spiritual discussion and then doing a psychic and maybe some mediumship readings as they come up later on. So welcome, Kristina.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've been looking forward to this. And hi, Keith. Keith said hello to me, so I wanted to be polite and say hello back.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Yeah. I love Keith. Shout out to Keith. Thank you for being here, Keith. Hello, Angela. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Shield. That's a cool name, Shield Nova.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, Shield Nova. That's a cool name. And everybody, yeah, right. It has it's powerful kind of sounding. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Hey. And as everybody comes in, tell us where you're from if you'd like, or just tell us how your day is going. We're going to be talking some energy. So with everybody learning about the Psychic Hour and also who you are, I guess if you'd like, I can go into it as well, but would you like to share about yourself?
Sure. Sure. I currently live in Wisconsin, Southeast Wisconsin. I read all over the place, though. I go to different events all over the place. So I do a lot of traveling from Michigan. Woohoo! Go Midwest. So
shout out.
Yeah, it was funny because it just occurred to me shortly before we got on and started talking. January 1st will be my 25th year anniversary as a professional psychic. I started my business 25, it'll be 25 years ago in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of dedication, heart, and time. If I may ask, what year did you really start feeling comfortable? Maybe you're never comfortable, but what year were you just I have a new sense of whatever happens, I feel okay, or I just feel really strong in myself. However, the comfortability was, I guess you can pick your comfortability as you tell a story.
Right. Well, I think it just really depends on what we're talking about, because I actually started with teaching meditation and doing Reiki. And I knew I was psychic before then, but I kind of just let that develop through the Reiki sessions, doing readings through the healing. Hi, Jennifer. It was, I'm going to say maybe 5 or 6 years in where I really started feeling comfortable. But it took me 12 years to go full time. So the first 12 years, I was still working other jobs. I was still doing all of that too. So it's been, thanks, Keith. It's been a journey, and it continues to be a journey because we still keep learning as we're going,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no one way. And excuse me, I might sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. You might hear that a little bit more. I thought it was gone, but I've been sniffling and sneezing. There's never really, I think, ultimate comfort. But it's really nice to hear that, there was different, I guess, levels of you coming into the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's encouraging for other people. And, I know I feel it at, certain years. I go, oh, okay. That feels better.
Right.
or okay, it feels a little better. Like I'm just gonna keep going. But yeah, I think it's not talked about sometimes enough because if you have 25 years under your belt, you can really give people perspective.
Right. Right. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Forgot the word, but anniversary. I'll call it an anniversary coming up. I'm really excited about that. It's um I don't know. I can't imagine doing anything else with my life.
Yeah, I think that's one of the telltale signs. Hey Jennifer, hey Jennifer McCormick too, Jennifer Rose, Corey.
Corey Jean. Oh, Munising. I did an Akashic record reading for you. That's awesome.
That's
Now
awesome.
I'm racking my brain. Like, okay, wait. I'm trying to put a face with the name.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
People come in sharing love.
Yeah.
Someone was from Michigan. Someone was from London up top.
Yep.
Keith said happy Friday the 13th.
My favorite day ever.
Oh yeah, I love. Well, I was born on the 13th, so I'm a fan. I wasn't born on a Friday though. But do you love Friday the 13th
I
together?
do. It's always been my lucky day. Munising, by the way, is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, in case people didn't know that. So, yeah.
I did not know, and I'm from the
Yeah.
Midwest. I did not know.
Yeah. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, thank you. What were we saying? With the 25 years, I think yes, it gives people perspective. And you said I can't imagine doing anything else with my life, and
Right.
I think that's the ticket. I mean, if you can't imagine, or if you wish that this is all you could do, you're going the right direction. And
Yeah.
I knew that nothing. Not that we all have it figured out from the get go, but I knew the same. Like this makes me the happiest.
Yes.
Everything else is like not great in comparison.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. And it's one of these days I'm just going to probably do a live or something and list all of the different jobs that I have, trying to figure out who I am and where I was and what to do with my life. I mean, it was crazy. So, wow,
For real.
South Africa, that's awesome.
I know it is. It's so cool where everyone's from. It
Yeah.
blows my mind. There's another Jennifer up there, Jennifer McCormick. She always gives a shout out from Liverpool, and so
Oh,
I
great.
think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Beatles, right? But did you find yourself within your jobs, or was there specific jobs that highlighted it? Is more, I guess, I'm curious. That you go, wow, I'm intuitive, or my intuition and my understanding of energy is helping me get the job done.
I would have to say probably in the service industry. I worked for, I think, about 10 years in food service. So different jobs within restaurants. And yeah, you really got to put your intuition into it.
I
Really got to
agree.
put your intuition into it to be good at that kind of a service job.
You probably had better tips than average too.
You would think so, but yeah, I don't know.
I would say probably more than expected at times,
At times, yeah, definitely.
because you're tuned into the needs of a person. Yeah, it's always different. It really is.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Mary. Mary was one of my students, and she has since moved to Montana and is doing wonderfully in her hypnosis business. So,
Mary,
yeah.
that's like another congratulations is in
Yeah.
order.
Congratulations, absolutely.
I might have to. I know this sounds so funny. Talk about unconventional. I thought my nose was okay. I thought it was so okay. I didn't need tissues, and I'm gonna need to grab a tissue just for insurance
Go
because we're on
right ahead.
camera. And I'm all of a sudden it's gonna be like blah, 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 blah. I'm like a faucet right now. I'm
Uh-oh.
here, everybody. I am here. I'm just grabbing a tissue. So please
Awesome.
interact as need with all the lovely people coming on and continue to share where you're from and give Kristina some love. I'm here.
Absolutely. Deidre, I saw Deidre. Hi, Emily. I don't know like how much control I have over any of this. Obviously none. Um, Mary, I can see that Mary is having fun. That's awesome. I'm looking at here, and some of you are already saying that you are looking for some kind of guidance. Any kind of guidance is appreciated. Oh, your little boy loves the Beatles. That's so cool. And any guidance for Tammy, Vladimir? Let's see. Sarah says, my awakening, I found a lot of different feathers, almost 100, lots of crows, raven, eagle, and whites, and others. Wow, that is so cool. That
Ooh.
is so cool. Yay for tissues.
Tissues with runny noses.
Etta, you should not need to go to StreamYard. You should be able to just put your comments in here on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do shows where we bring people in. We're gonna go a little bit more low key right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the holiday vibe. We just want things a little low key today.
A little
But,
easier today. Yeah.
a little easier today. But if people really do want to come in for the future, I'm happy to accommodate. Also,
Yeah.
some people are coming in through Find Me a Medium. I want to double check with Veronica that she wants to accommodate everyone on camera too as well. So yes, right now you only have to go to whether it's YouTube or Facebook to comment when we do readings, and we're going to take you based on putting your comments on screen and interacting with you.
I am Infinity. Yes, we do answer YouTube ones as well as Facebook because they're coming up in the chat, so we can see them, and if we can see them in the chat, then we can answer them. Yeah,
absolutely. So everybody, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there's somebody saying inbox me now. I have a message for you. I think we got a troll in here.
Yeah. Oh, that's on yours actually. Block them and delete their comment.
I'd have to go to Facebook to do that, right?
No, you can do it here. You see the dots. So hover your mouse over the comment, and then there's going to be 3 dots in the right-hand corner by the star. Do you see that?
Nope. 3 dots up here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then click on that. And then it will give you an option to block and delete.
I'm not seeing an option to block and delete.
Did you click on the dots?
Yeah, I had to highlight all of her message to go up to get dots.
Yes. I don't know why it doesn't.
It won't let me do anything in there. I guess it says I can't post comments to some destinations or something.
You might have to do it on your end then.
Okay.
Usually it's a little more interactive. Sometimes it's not. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Yeah, I'll just keep doing this, and you can.
You got it. You just let me know. So I love it. Sarah's saying, I've been making meditation crowns with feathers from spirit and angels. I think that's beautiful. Feathers are one of the things that come to me as a sign too as well. And bear with me with tissues, everybody. And it's something that I know that gives me validation. And usually I lose the feathers that I find. They're really tiny. So I don't know if you're making like this very, demure, delicate crown, or if you're making things from the bigger feathers you found outside or the feathers that come to you through people. But I think that's a really beautiful thing. And Keith says, I've been feeling the full moon and it's amazing. I haven't been keeping track of the full moon this week or month yet. Have you?
No, not really. I mean, I've kind of noticed it, but I haven't.
When was our last full moon? Was it are we talking about the one from November?
There's a full moon coming in 2 days.
The rising of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. There's almost like sometimes people have trouble sleeping. People can get more sensitive. It really depends on what the specific full moon is. My goodness, there was like the full moon in Taurus we had, somewhat recently. I felt like a significant shift with that. There was a solar eclipse with like, I think it was like a Leo and Aquarius opposition. I don't know, but that one made me feel like I was electric.
Yeah, I remember that. And this time it's like Pisces full moon. So
interesting. We
yeah,
picked the right background.
we sure did.
It stopped moving though, which is very strange because it's a video background.
Oh, I can see it moving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So mine's glitching. I'm glad you can still see
Yeah,
it
I
moving.
can see it.
But we have all this energy coming on up, and has it been Jennifer's saying we've had a new moon on the 1st, another new moon on the 30th, and a cold moon on the 15th. Mercury retrograde is shaking things up a bit. Yes.
Oh, it's in Gemini. Okay. I thought it was in Pisces. I don't know why I thought that.
No worries. No worries. I'm not always up to date with my moons. I'm not. On some months, I really, really am. And others, not so much. With the energies in the air, has anything like really been coming to the surface for you, Kristina, that you've noticed with people or yourself?
I've noticed like hushed undertones, and I don't know how else to explain that, but I've noticed like hushed undertones as far as like certain things people aren't talking about, like politics is kind of not being talked about right now, and the holidays coming is feeling very different this year. Like I'm not seeing a lot of over the top consumerism with it. So
Michael's making a joke.
I know. I got distracted by Michael's joke and started laughing. That's pretty funny. Yeah, winter solstice coming up on the 21st.
We have a lot of shifts, but you were talking about like consumerism and everything. How did that come up for you?
Well, I actually went out on Black Friday, and there weren't that many people out. It wasn't craziness like it used to be. It wasn't like a lot of traffic. It wasn't a lot of insanity like it has been in the past. It was just kind of like a normal shopping day. And even in grocery stores or whatever, it was just like a normal day. It was, I'm not seeing a lot of that. Maybe people are doing more online shopping. I don't know. I've for years have really cut back on the shopping. I don't get into the frenzy of it.
I do think that people are a mixture of like more into their self-care. The online is a little bit, yes, definitely. I think people are just exhausted on so many levels that you don't see some of the volatility in some places.
Right.
Everyone hang in there. The year is coming to a close, but we still have changes. Someone's mentioning a troll really quick, but I can't see anything.
I was looking for that too. I don't see a troll either.
Invisible trolls for the holidays?
I don't know. Vanilla, could you refer to the comment because we can't find it?
Yeah, I don't see the comment.
No.
If there's one we have to look out for.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
Dolores, yeah, Mercury goes Mercury goes direct on the same day as the full moon.
wow. Sure, we'll take it. I'll
Yep.
take it.
I'll take
We'll take
Mercury direct any day. Yeah.
Hi, Myra. It's great to see you. Hello. So, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if there's something in the comments, if somebody wants to ask a question, we're happy to look into anything that you're dealing with spiritually. Sometimes I open up the space always for questions before we go right into readings. If there's not any questions or comments about something that you're going through that we'd like to maybe add some of our own perspectives to, we'll go right into just reading the energy. Yeah, people are asking for like loved ones. I see in the comments, so we'll head into readings very soon. But what's your vibe on it before we start, Kristina?
I'm not really sure if there is a specific vibe. I just kind of feel like people are looking for general guidance as I
Yeah.
scroll through the comments. I feel like people are looking for general guidance, but specific to them.
Yes, yes. I agree. I agree. Everyone's commenting, but they're looking for readings. So then would you like to go into readings then?
Right. I was going to try to go to the top and find out who the first one was that asked for a reading because I'd kind of like to start there.
Let's see if they're still in the house. Let's see.
Yeah.
Sarah
Sarah.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, love a reading. I'm also a reader. Starseed
Okay.
Lyran. That's what she says. That's
Yeah.
the comment. Sarah, are you still with us? Yes, she's here.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to connect in with Sarah real quick. The way that I do this, by the way, I have a kind of a system that I do. I open up my heart center and I connect into your heart center energetically, and that gives me kind of direct information for you rather than directing me to someone else in the comments who wanted a reading as well. And so it does just take me a moment to connect, and then when I'm finished, I disconnect and connect to the next person. That's just the way I do things. So um, connecting into Sarah real quick here. You're not asking for a specific reading, so I'm going to give you just what I'm getting. And as I've connected into your information, into your energy, the information I'm getting is breathe, just breathe. Like it feels like there's some either anxiety or super busyness or something like that. I just feel like your guides are saying, just take a breath and relax. Just let things come to you. It's almost like you're trying too hard. And I did see in some of your comments that you are going through a spiritual awakening. And these spiritual awakenings, there's not just one. We get several of them, as we're going along. And I feel like the one that you're going through now it's more than a spiritual awakening. It's like an ascension boost with the spiritual awakening. So just try to relax into it and don't try to think about it too much. This is something that goes beyond human intellect. This is something that goes more into the expansion of your consciousness, yes, but also the expansion of your soul and almost a complete flip flop in how you've done things. It's something that uh, it's bigger. It's bigger than what you've had before, and I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your mom. Um, excuse me. It's I feel like this ascension for you really just flips you into a completely different paradigm. It's not just a new timeline, it's a new paradigm. And that's what I'm getting for you, Sarah. So I'm going to pull back.
I think let me know if you want to come in like at any time, please. I'll just say a little bit too with things I got for Sarah. I very much agree with you. I feel like, you're talking about it's like a paradigm shift, and I feel like connecting to mom and even grandma, like the lineage of women within your family, like there's always been this need for speaking your mind, but immense responsibility. And so sometimes the sense of responsibility has dampened what you want to do with your life. And like with your mom's transition, it's almost like she's clapping and cheering you on and saying you can go get it. You know, it's almost like you've released a lot when I transitioned to as well. You released a lot. And it's like she's watching over you, and she has like a newfound appreciation for everything that you do. Even though she knew some of the things that you did, and she was like, okay, I see this, I acknowledge this, of course. There's this newfound understanding, because I just don't feel like she was in a place to really know everything that you do, and she wasn't in a place to really sometimes have deeper conversations. You said, yeah, I've been talking to them both through a candle and flame, grandma and mom. Excuse me, I might sneeze as I'm talking to you. But yes, I can feel like you've been talking to them, absolutely. And I feel like grandma was this like encouraging person, but again, she didn't know much about how to encourage you with the person that you are. So it's like, even though you've, I guess, in a way, have a different association with family, they get to support you more now, in a way where you can feel them and they can really understand all of you, because they supported you, but they didn't really know things. I'm just going to continue to say that they supported you, but they didn't really know things, if you can understand that, Sarah. And yeah, I agree with Kristina. There's a big change coming up, and more sensitivity and more opening up. So if there's anything else that you want to add, Kristina, I can choose somebody, or you can choose somebody. It's whatever you like.
Oh, thank you, Sarah, for the opportunity. I have already disconnected from her, and I've connected to, I hope I say this right, Perwinder Bill Singh Verdi is open for guidance. So like I said, I went to the top of the list and started scrolling down
Oh,
for those who
you're at
asked
the top.
first. Yeah.
Oh, I think I
Yeah.
just had them.
Yeah.
Let me see it. You're not you Periwinder? Periwinder you're talking about?
Perwinder, yeah. Did I say that wrong?
Let me,
Are you still here, Bill?
are you still here? Periwinder Bill. Periwinder is a type of snake, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because
Thank you, everybody.
he had asked for some guidance, so.
Are you still in the house? If not, we will. Oh, Sarah's asking, what does paradigm mean?
Oh, paradigm is the way that you're existing in the world, the way that you believe, the way that your paradigm is what you live in, the beliefs that you live in, the understandings that you live in. And a shift in paradigm is a complete shift in understanding pretty much everything. Kelly, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well.
It's okay. I'm feeling actually better, like than expected. My nose is just going crazy. And then of course,
Yeah.
you know, we're healing a little
Yeah.
bit. I appreciate that. Yeah, like it's just a evolution of being and everything that you're saying. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't think Parawinder's still in the house.
Okay.
Would you like to choose someone else, or
Go
whatever
ahead,
you'd like?
pick somebody.
Okay. I kind of like this question. And if people start talking about clairvoyance, I get very like I like
Excited,
clairvoyance
yes.
questions. I do. I love all things color and visual. I really do. T-Lyn, twice recently had a vision I can only describe as kaleidoscope-like. A reader told me it was a cluster of angels. Grandfather passed on December 13th. Did they have a purpose? And are these two connected? Absolutely, I think they're connected. Absolutely. Because I was looking for a question that highlighted it all. And so this question is bringing me to let's kind of connect to your grandfather, and let's connect to your question. So if you ever see kaleidoscope or colors and movement when you're closing your eyes or have your eyes open, it can even happen when your eyes are open. That's just your clairvoyance being activated or already on. So our energetic being can see, and then our physical being can see because we have senses and a brain. But the energy comes through our system and we can see without even our brain and have experiences. The same way that our normally our brain works, excuse me, our brain is filtering the energy still, forgive me. But what I'm trying to say is, your grandfather is coming to you and he's saying, hello, hi, I'm okay. And your clairvoyance and your energy is being stimulated and opening up. So that's why you might even not just having visions, as you put, and colors and moving colors, but I feel like there's been buzzes in your ear, or you've been feeling even like somebody's been standing behind you or to the side of you. And I kept getting it like on my left side. So it's like my left side or one of my sides, definitely for sure. And I feel like, can you understand, at least the person that steps forward in like connection with some of these things, he would have had a beard, like a white beard. So like a mustache and a beard. And this would have been a man who is more thoughtful with his words. And I have to scroll down to see if you understand this, Teelan. Teelan, do you understand anything that I am saying in regards to a loved one in spirit? It could be your grandfather, actually, directly. Are you talking about the color first? You said a lot of lavender. I tried to briefly meditate before stepping out of bed and getting distracted. Only recently having visions, excuse me, and experiences, scent and touch. So you're having, yes, it's just the opening up the energy. And that's why you're getting stimulated extra, and it's very eye catching when it's color. If you're having lavender, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And some of the purple colors can come up when we meditate a lot, or when we actually are meditating. And so purple within itself, and once you get into lavender, is a very spiritual essence. And when you have the softer shades like lavender, it means that you are a very spiritual person, where you're compassionate for others, where you're very kind, where you're very connected, where spirituality is not just where you go and meditate. It's something that is all over your life because you have such high compassion and empathy for others. And if you can understand, to a good part of your life has been connected to the imaginative realm, like you've been sensitive for a good portion of your life. So this is an accumulated sensitivity where you have this grace or gentleness around people. And you said, I adored my grandfather, taught me to whistle. Lavender is connected to Saint Germain, I believe. Lavender is connected to a lot of different things. It's connected to a lot of different things and can be talked about in a lot of different ways. But a lot of times lavender highlights a certain, how can I put it? An innocence, a grace, or a purity that a person practices and acts within their spirituality. There's a certain lightness where they are not fully connected to the harsh reality of the world, because either they have transcended within their imagination of something they would prefer to introduce to the world and be and cultivate, or they've had a personal ascension where they bring that softness to their energy. Okay. So I'm highlighting this about you. If you understand this, can you understand, Teelan, that you've always been sensitive and you've always had a very active imagination, whether it was in books or movies? And with your grandfather, he had this kind of softness too. And you two would like kind of share stories, and he would check in with you. And can you understand the beard? If not, your grandfather, someone close to you that would have had a mustache and a beard prominently on the face. Beautiful experience. Have never received message from a grandfather. Can you understand? I just want to make sure who I'm connecting to for a second. I'm going to continue to talk about who I'm seeing, but if you can understand, let me know too, because that's how I know I'm connecting to you too, with the validations. So can you understand a man, and Kristina, you can jump in at any time too if you'd like.
Oh, you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Can you understand that there's a kindness and a wisdom and a soft-spoken nature? And you said no beard, dad had a full mustache. Can you understand that this mustache would have been gray though? Excuse me, white. Why did I say gray? But it would have been it would have gone fully white. It would have gone fully white. So can you understand that beard for grandfather or father? Because I'm feeling mustache and beard like someone would actually have grown out their beard. Okay, I could be getting it wrong. It could just be mustache. Do you understand the soft spokenness? Do you understand the storytelling? Do you understand the thoughtfulness and that there's a gentle disposition to him as well? Do you understand to him to be a little bit more leaner and a little bit like if he was of average height, he held himself a little bit taller in a way where he had this leanness and he seemed to hold himself a little bit taller in the way that he presented himself. And I'm seeing he would have liked to dress nice. He would have been thoughtful in his appearance, although, not flashy. So this is a man who would have dressed within maybe a suit or a vest, would have buttons. It would showcase that he was a thoughtful man and he was thoughtful with his appearance and how he presented himself. He went gray at the end. Chemo Steinbeck's grandfather was a gentle, tall man. Okay, so we're on the realm. I'm just making sure with the beard, if you can understand that beard is grandfather and you're saying mustache is father. I want to separate the two. I'm just going to kind of go back a little bit. With grandfather, I just want to kind of highlight, can you understand that there is a European side, like an Irish connection on grandfather's side? And can you understand that storytelling is very, very important? I keep going back to storytelling. So he would have read you books, and this is something within the family that he would do for multiple children. And this is something that your father would have done too. Maybe grandfather excelled a little bit more, but storytelling for the children and passing down like fairy tales and passing down old stories. Okay. It's all right. Well, I'm going to just put it like that. I'm not tuning into how he's passing. Sometimes I'm just tuning into the love, but he takes out like a pocket watch and he's like talking about to remember the times that you had together, and he's holding your hand and he's referencing a dog. Okay, he's referencing a dog, and I see there's a dog with him in spirit. It could be your dad's dog too, but there's a dog in spirit connected to the family, and they're referencing that they are with them in spirit, and it's a male dog, and so it's white and black, and it has like a little bit of a longer hair, slightly longer. And you're saying Saturday church, maybe no beards for anyone in my family. Well, I'm definitely getting the mustache. Grandmother's side, Irish, had Irish. Okay, well, there's an Irish connection, there's the dog connection, there's the passing of stories and fairy tales even. And with your grandfather, the kind and gentleness, he wants you to continue to carry that on, and he's very proud of you with how sweet you are. And he winks at you, okay? That's his wink. And I feel like he would have used to have done that as well. He winks at you and says, I'm still watching you. Okay. So I want to give that to you. Thank you for working with me. I was kind of trying to solidify the link a little bit to make sure I had pieces of him and parts of your family. But that's why you're getting all the lavender, because he is coming in more. Your father's coming in more. They're trying to just naturally have you notice them. Okay. Kristina, if you'd like, to tune into someone else or anything that you get, passing the torch.
Okay. I was tuning into, I don't know how to pronounce this, Brolic?
Yes, he was with it.
Brolic?
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Brolic says, may I please have one on my spiritual gifts? Have been feeling completely off and disconnected lately. And I wanted to address that because you're not alone. A lot of people have been feeling this lately. I've been talking to a lot of people who feel like maybe Could have been more consistent, my folks. It's really not even about your consistency or your meditation. This is really more about a state of grace. You've just gone through a huge growth period in the last couple of years, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, probably even in your physical life, where things have just been very difficult. But through that, you have grown. Right now, this is like your state of grace. It's like you grow and then you plateau, and you're sitting on the plateau because, believe me, there's another growth spurt coming. So just kind of relax into it. Enjoy the peace and quiet, I guess, of not having them talking to you all the time. It's something, though, that a lot of people have been coming to me with, is that they're feeling completely off. They're feeling disconnected. And that's because you are definitely in the middle of this expansion thing. We're going back to the 3D, 5D split. And where you are right now feels like you're kind of hovering in the middle. Like you're not completely out of 3D, but you're not completely into 5D. You kind of go back and forth between the two. And it's kind of like the Hanged Man in the tarot deck, where you're just sort of hanging right there, and just enjoy it for a moment, because when it takes off, it's going to take off a lot bigger than it's ever been, and it might just kind of make your head spin. So just letting you know, hold on, because you're going for a ride. That's what I'm getting with that.
And then just so I make sure that was for, I'm going to highlight who that was for. Forgive me, I didn't hear the first name.
Brawl, you have it up there. I don't know how to say
it.
I
did have it. Okay, I did have it.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't sure. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay. He says yes at the exact feeling.
Yeah.
And LOL, got it.
Just take a breath, buddy, because you're going to need it.
It's about to ramp up.
Yeah,
to ramp up.
It really is. I really feel like after, for some reason, I feel like it's kind of on hold until after the holidays and the beginning of January. I feel like it's just going to go really big. Yeah, we are always in the middle of it, but sometimes we get a break. And when we get a break, sometimes it feels like we've lost our abilities or we can't connect or whatever. But yes, we are always in the midst of an ascension process.
Definitely. Hang on, everybody. Everybody. Who's in the house again, too, as well? So we're going to go to another reading.
Okay.
Let us know who's in the house. Let us know who's live. And hang on, everybody. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to Ava. She says, any guidance for me right here. Okay. Did you have a question, Ava? If not, I'm just going to do a general. Let me know if you have a question. Let's see, did she type something down? We have a heads up. We have someone that you need to kick to if you can. I don't know if you see them. It's on your destination. Do you see that, Christine? Someone, we have a troll on your destination. Okay. Little scrolling up. It's like they're trying to just reach out to inbox people.
I'm looking.
It's under A Good Witch. That's the name.
Okay. I will go take care of that while you do this.
Okay, cool. All right. So Ava says, just a general. There's one. There's more than one. There's more than one floating around, apparently. Got it. Thank you for letting me know. Jennifer just let me know there's another one. So we'll tune in first, and then we'll go take care of that. All right. So Ava. All right. Let's see. Okay, I like that. All right. So I feel like what's coming in is basically the first thing is all about not waiting for somebody to save you, not waiting for someone to make the first move or something to happen in order for you to get started. So that's something that right away comes on in. And I got this card. I'm pulling cards too this time. The card was, we are made to be helpers and also receive. And so it acknowledges the power of our many talents and the power of the many things already at our disposal. And then you also got a card called the mystery player. And that's basically when somebody is queued up in our energy to make something happen. But it was in a placement where it's just like, you're going to have to make this happen yourself. Okay. And I'm just making sure I have the most updated comment with you. And then you're saying general. Okay. And so what's coming on in is basically there is sometimes we feel like there's like a lackluster or even like a vanilla-esque kind of feeling of, you know, it's the same old, and what happens next. And spirit is kind of nudging you and saying like, you are the master of your fate, and you are the only one that can make yourself, you know, have limitations. So they're saying to kind of push yourself in a way where you'd be surprised that if you kind of just go out and do something that you were wanting to do anyway, all of a sudden the surge of energy is kind of going to lightning bolt back to you, because there's like almost a sense of boredom or even being overwhelmed, but really not liking or having interests with what you're having to do now, and in the doldrums of the responsibilities. And you said, oh, wow, I understand. Okay, thank you for understanding. So they're saying like host something or go out and do something you've always wanted to do. Go to a play, invite someone to come along, go for an adventure, go for a travel, even if it's just local, and shake things up. And it's just like, you have the power to abracadabra, go like, hey, like life's not so bad. I was just kind of content with being bored, because a lot of people around me are just bored and they're being how they have to be, but I'm a magical spiritual being, and it's time to kick things up, and I'm not going to play by the rules. So this is kind of the reminder from spirit. Don't play by the rules. You really don't want to anyway. Don't do it. It's a trap. Okay. We like the rules sometimes with respecting other people, but you get to write the rules of your own life. Okay. So that's the reminder. There you go.
All right. I did not find.
we have another person that just came in.
Yeah, I just saw that.
There's a lot of them today. Let me go find that comment.
Yeah.
Let me go. All right. All right. I took care of one on my end.
I've taken care of a couple of them.
So thank you, everybody, for the heads up if you see something.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then there's just like, we can do it after the show if we can't get them now. There's a lot sprinkled.
We're just going to try to ignore them for now. Just don't respond to these trolls, please.
And Ava's like, I'm making plans on my target right now. And if your target is not responding, it doesn't matter. If you keep putting energy to it and getting results expected or not, it's going to lead you to where you need to go. Make it about you leading the way, no matter if someone responds or not, or a situation responds or not, keep going. Do not think, well, there's my sign, it didn't work. No, that's just the step one of, making sure you're not living by the rules of what seems like it's not working if it's in your heart. Keep on the journey. Okay. Hey, Michael. It's nice to see you. I appreciate it.
Enjoying this on the drive home. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We're in New York with you right now. He's from New York. So we're all connected. Is there anyone you feel connected to, Kristina? If not, I'm going to choose somebody.
Yeah, go ahead and choose somebody.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. You said Tammy, excuse me, you said my blank mind would be regarding, oh, your question, got it. Your question would be regarding your relationship. What now? Okay. Yeah. Hey, what now? Kind of let's just see what comes up. Okay, so if you can understand that there has been kind of a disconnect, because I all of a sudden I get this visual flash with like two hands, like, you know, reaching out, but they're not finding each other. So there's this disconnect. And if you can understand, like, some of this relates to career, whether someone's putting a lot of emphasis on trying to work on their career, or something with career bred stress within the relationship dynamic. And if you can understand this, Tammy, just let me know. That's how I know I'm tuned into your energy. So you can let me know. And it's kind of like understanding that you have to look deeper. You have to investigate what's not working and be at peace with some of those things, because some of those things are what they seem. Some of those things are not coded. Like, I'm not sure if they're not, you know, I'm not sure if they're telling me this or that. It's like you have to go deeper with the things that you already know, because some of the reasons of the disconnect are in plain sight. And you said, yes, it's career. Okay, cool. And so what I'm feeling like is, on one hand, like, one partner is very, very stressed. Okay. So it's almost like they're balled up stressed, and they don't feel like they have the tools or the needs being provided to them to how to figure out how to navigate what's going on with their career. And I feel like it's not going in a way that they expected. So they're getting quite overwhelmed. And because of that, they're balling up and trying to deal with it themselves. And they you know how some people, like, they feel ashamed sometimes that it's not working out like they want it to, and they kind of like break down, and they kind of sometimes try to deal with it themselves. I feel like you're saying this makes sense. I feel like that's an aspect definitely going on, and there has to be kind of a mixture of letting someone have space, but at the same time taking what they've given you and saying, hey, you've communicated that we're A, B, and C. You've communicated this so far. Is that correct? How can I support you? And you have to kind of, again, some of these things are more obvious than not, but you have to kind of rebroadcast and go deeper with, you've asked these things of me, or you show me these things. Is that how you want to be supported? Because they're not entirely self-aware of what's happening within the relationship, because they're more focused on themselves and how things are not going according to plan. Okay. And so they're pulling away. So make it kind of very clear about, hey, you're doing this. Is this how you like to be supported? And maybe you checking in and just providing the facts, and not trying to be complicated with it. They will echo back again what they've told you, or echo back, hey, that is what's going on. But maybe I feel like this, and maybe I feel like this. Unfortunately, I do feel like a little bit the ball is in their court, because they are the ones kind of not letting you know until they know more. So that's kind of my advice. Just it can continue to spell out what has already been said, and kind of just be patient, and then you choose from that how you would like to go forward. And sometimes people can't go forward with us unless we want to give a lot of patience to the situation. And there's a time where you'll understand if that's healthy or unhealthy. So that is what I'm getting. And so I'm the one balling up, stressed about work, choice to go back to something I may not love. Some of these things look some of these things look for what they are. Some of these things look for what they are. How does that? I'm the one below stress, but trying to do something that I may not love. Some of these things look for. Okay, give me context with how you mean some of these things look for what they are. But then what's happening is understand that, but apply it to yourself. Like you have to let your partner know you need space, and you have to be very clear with your partner. Okay. And if you want other things for your partner, you have to very clearly let them know how you want to be supported, because right now you're being overwhelmed, and sometimes that will heighten up the disconnect and your stress within the two of you and solo. Okay, so that's what I have to say. Be very clear and do not try to complicate it, and see how they can support you with you just being very clear and you letting them know this is where I'm at, but including them and being very clear with where you're at. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so Kristina, let me know if you're getting anything too as well, if you're tuning into somebody else.
Well, I think you've pretty well covered it with Tammy. And also she's a good friend of mine, so I was happy to let you take the reading because I already know the situation.
Oh, you already know the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right.
All right.
So it was better, I think, for you to take it so that she gets a clear perspective from someone other than me. So, yeah.
The number one thing I'm getting is there has to be just very clear, simple communication so people can digest what's going on and not put pressure on one another based on where someone is. And that's kind of like the number one thing. There's already like a disconnect and strain, and any pressure for trying to get into the details or this is my perspective. This is my perspective. Let me go into this angle. Let me go into that angle. I feel it's like it's going to heighten up everything that's already an issue. So space, patience, and being very simple of how can I help you, and letting each of you be accountable, and then becoming stronger, and then possibly, as you're simply supporting each other, maybe coming together because you're both in a better place. But right now you kind of have to just keep things simple and get individually stronger. That's what I'm getting.
Awesome.
I hope that makes sense.
Can we jump over to Mina Petkoff?
Yeah, absolutely. Where is she?
She is there she is. Yeah. I tuned into her energy a little bit. Hi, Mina. And I feel like you've been having a really, really rough time. I just feel like you've been having a hard time, and you're just like, I can't take one more thing. Please tell me something positive. And so I was really drawn to you because your guides were kind of calling out to me and saying, let her know it's going to be okay. You're still kind of in the middle of something that you have to keep working through, but it's going to be okay. It's I'm just getting a clearer connection with you. As I'm connecting in with you and I'm listening to your spirit guides, they're saying that you have taken some really big steps, and some of the really big steps in your life have had unintended consequences. So it's good that you took the really big steps. Okay. It's really good that you did that. And some of the consequences of doing that up front don't look so great, but in the long run are really going to be beneficial to you and your loved ones. And that's what your spirit guides are telling me. You've been following them and what they've been wanting you to do. I don't know how you hear them. I don't know if you like physically hear them, if you just get a sense and act on it. But the difficulties that you've been having are going to work themselves out. It's just a matter of you had to take those steps to get through it. That's what I was getting. Like it just came in, boom, really big, and then stopped. So if you have anything to add, Kelly, that'd be great.
I was kind of looking at some other thing. There's a lot of comments where we'll have to delete later. But forgive me. I wasn't. I can tune in let me like just do a simple tune in. I was somewhere else. But thank you for understanding, Tammy. Thank you. Okay. So kind of what this might be entirely different with what Kristina said, because I didn't even know what she said. But what's coming up?
I love that.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was in your energy, it was the validation of like kind of trusting a process with all the work that you have been doing and your intuition, where it's been leading you, and that there's additional support coming in where you're not going to have to do this alone. Okay. And there's additional chances to actually repair, I feel, whether in women relationships or even women within your family, to repair some misunderstandings and to understand that people are actually looking out for you a little bit deeper than what you expected. It's kind of like seeing another side to people and understanding where they are in a refreshing manner. So interpersonal dynamics get a little bit more refreshing around you, and that's going to change a lot for the better. So whether it's business partner or friend, there's a new person coming in to step in and support you, and you're going to see that echoing in other parts of your life. That's what I got.
Awesome. Keith, thank you. Keith says, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Keith. We appreciate that.
Keith is so awesome.
I love Keith.
Thank you, Keith. Yeah, that does help. So Keith is not wrong.
Yeah. He is absolutely correct. Yes.
Whether you're on Kristina's page or my page, Sacred Spiral, or Veronica's page, Find Me a Medium, please support.
Yes.
Please support. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go to, speaking of, I think Keith asked a question earlier. What was it?
Yeah, it's something about the beginning of the year. I was just looking for it too.
Yeah. Thank you, Keith. I'm seeing past comments. He's like sending you lots of healing. But where was your exact question, Keith?
Here it is. I found it.
Oh, awesome.
Any guidance on how the end of the year is going to be and how 2025 is going to start out? Thank you.
Okay. Do you mean that for, like, globally or for yourself, Keith, or both?
I was just going to ask that.
It's a fair question.
It is a fair question. Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Okay. So both. Yes, I figured. Okay. So, hold on. And then we're going into, all right. So it's cool because it makes sense why you would ask that. And Kristina, please jump in at any time with anything you're getting, because you're an attitude 9. And so an attitude 9 is the only number that really is in sync with the world around it, because your attitude number and the cycles that you go through in numerology, I'm addressing this from a numerological perspective, you're asking about world years, is a 9. So it always follows what the world's going through. So you will always be the same number as the world number that year. And it also makes sense because 9 is the number of humanitarianism, and you cannot help be pulled in by other people's situations around you, whether what they're focusing on directly to you with, or whether all of a sudden there's a plight or an emotion or a thought about what's happening around you. You're like, as a 9, and the more 9s you have within your chart, the more entangled you are in situations that are not just personal. So the world, and forgive me.
Oh, my goodness. Bless you. So playing off of what Kelly just said,
I'll go after you. Sure.
I have seen Keith jump on a number of different shows, and I appreciate that you were out there supporting all of us, which really just backs up what Kelly just said about you being a 9 and having that support for the world. 2025 is kind of what I've been getting over and over and over is it is just going to be a string of plot twists all the way through the whole year. Like starting it right at the beginning, it's going to be a plot twist one after another for the whole world. For you personally, Keith, what I'm seeing is how do I say this? Is plot twists for you too, but on a much more subtle scale is what I'm seeing. Where there's going to be opportunities that you can look at, whether those are professional, personal, interpersonal, whatever it is, you will be presented with different opportunities to change your story or to keep it the way that it is. And there's no wrong answer either way. It's whatever makes you the happiest. And so the added that's a good question for you, but I just got distracted.
Yeah, I'm gonna go that one
Sorry about
No.
sorry about that.
Probably thinking what I was thinking.
So if you're ready for a change, Keith, there are definitely going to be opportunities being presented for that. And that again is in every realm of your life, whether it's personal, professional, interpersonal, there's going to be different opportunities coming up for you. So you can pick and choose your opportunities. I feel like 2025 for you is going to be wide open as far as you choosing your path and which way you want to go. That's what I'm really getting for you personally. So the rest of the world is going to be flip-flopping around plot twists here and there, like everywhere, all the time. And you thought this year was a crazy energy ride? Buckle up. It's going to be a crazier energy ride next year. That's what I keep getting. So
yeah, I think so. I think though the year's gonna whip right along, and like for Keith, there's a lot of like delegation and dilemma kind of on who you want to be and where you want to go. And Kristina was saying there's no wrong answer, and so like I'm just feeling even just like regarding like where I want to live in houses. I feel like you've looked even down the street even though you're also considering to be in a different town. So it's like there's this spectrum of how do I want to do it if you can understand this. It's like you've even considered something so close because it's familiar, and then you've considered stuff that is not ginormously far, but you're just like, and this would solidify me having the freedom. And so you kind of are trying to figure out what you want to do and where you want to go and what you want to be. And like the whole thing is you're going to figure it out along the way. You just have to, with every step, say, hey, yes, this feels right. This feels right. And you said, yes, been looking at houses a lot. And I feel like there's some even that you've looked down the street for, if you can understand that. There's some type of I've considered on the street, or I've looked on the street, even though, wow, that's a little close. And also in the surrounding towns. What was I going to say? There's even like an invitation if you want to change like your job. You could do exactly what you're doing now to support you, but you're just at a different store or a different location. So it's about sometimes you can make minor changes, but that leads to such a bigger change because you'd be around a different person, a different people, what I'm trying to say, or you'd have a different boss. It creates a completely different support system. And I feel like it is time for a big change, but sometimes they are made through a bunch of micro changes. Yes, a house is a big change too as well. And you're saying, yes, I understand that. I also thought about moving to the west side of the USA. I feel like big changes on the spectrum have been thought of. I feel like, how can I put it? I feel like you're going to get something a little bit closer. So within the surrounding towns of where you live. But I feel like this is like a first step. Okay. And I feel like the next step is vacationing to the West. And then you go, oh, I've never been out here. Now I know the area. Now I want to manifest again. And so manifest a house where the market is still growing. Manifest a house where you don't have to be hunkered down, okay? Because I feel like you want to grow and explore. Manifest something maybe even smaller where then you can have the extra funds to explore and live life. Like, it's really important to explore and live life. And all I'm saying is right now I see things have to be a little bit more sturdy. So then you have enough money and resources then to be the explorer, as momentarily you have something a little bit similar, but not drastically different yet. But you could actually, in a handful of years, have something drastically different. So that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. And then I could talk about the world too if you want. But yeah. You said yes. Totally understand that.
So Starseed's Wisdom asked, is attitude number the same as life path number?
Oh, yes, that's right.
And I don't know anything about numerology. This one is totally on Kelly.
For sure. So attitude number is different than your life path number. Your life path number is found through your month, date, and year all added up together and then reduced to a single digit. Your attitude number is just your month and your day added together and reduced to a single digit. Your attitude number is very, very, very important. And a lot of times it's going to be more important than your life path number with looking at some things with regarding about what your preferences are. Your attitude number is a huge part of your personality, how you would prefer to be, how you be comfortable, how you find kindred souls. And your life path is the lessons that you are becoming through, and the trials and tribulations, and also who you naturally are. It deals with your job. It deals with, very much who you are, like the life path number, but the life path number is who are you becoming, and the attitude is how do you think and how do you just operate in the world, regardless of who you're becoming. Okay. I hope that makes sense, but they're very, very different, but there's similarities between the two. And you want to look at both of them to really understand a person and their chart, as well as other calculations. But those are, I would say, the two most important calculations, the attitude number and the life path number, for understanding a general chunk of a person. Yeah.
Can I just answer her question that you have up there?
And is there a question with it?
Let's see. I'm assuming that Starseed's Wisdom is female. That might not be true. Been having this weird feeling of something coming up, a change. Can't say if it's good or bad, just something unexpected. So I was kind of tuning into Starseed's Wisdom as you were talking. And for you personally, I'm assuming that something is coming. I mean, there's big changes going on in the world. We're all very aware of that, and we're all very aware of the insanity attached to it. So, but for you personally, I really feel like the change that's coming is something that, again, expands you. That's an ascension, an expansion, a growth, but not in the way that you're used to. It's bigger, it's wider, it's stronger than what you have been experiencing in the past. I feel like it's not a bad thing. You might not experience it initially as a very good thing, but overall it is a good thing. It's just something that you have to go through. Definitely unexpected. I feel like somebody, I got this vision of like your life as a snow globe, and this big hand just comes out of the sky, picks it up, shakes it around, sets it down and go, there you go, deal with that. So if that, I'm a very visual person, sorry. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely going to shake up your life. It's going to shake up maybe even some of your belief system, but overall it's going to be a really positive thing for you. It's just not necessarily going to be an easy thing to go through.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that need to come to light with the plans that you, or even ideas that you have in your head of what you want to be with your next steps. I would say also too as well, don't let the world influence how things are going for you individually. The world is in a big state of change, absolutely. Like 9 represents transformation and end of former self. So the way the United States might run things, you're going to see big changes. The way that society even runs, you're going to see major institutional changes, and some of those things will come out bit by bit. Something that just I want to highlight within you too is you mentioned your numbers up top. Oh my gosh, where are they? Or maybe they're down here. So the life path master number 33 is only when we get that sum total. Okay. So adding 11 and 22 together, that 11 and 22 should not come from multiple places. It should just be one solid number. Okay. So I would look into just making sure calculations add up a certain way. And then master numbers are any repeating numbers. Master numbers are, you could have a 22, a 33, a 99. You could have 999. You're not going to have that in numerology for a life path number, sure. The master numbers are just repeated numbers once you add up a specific calculation in a specific way to fulfill that one thing you're looking for. So it looks like if you have an 11 and 22 somewhere, you have some master numbers in some locations. I would look into it just a little bit further. Okay. And let's see here. Nicole is saying, I'm just going to jump to Nicole for a second. I'm an attitude 11. I'm assuming that's a 2. Yeah. So you're going to be reducing all digits that you come and find through 1 through 9 at the end of it. Okay. So 1 plus 1 is 2. You're reducing it to 2. And if you're an attitude 11 or an attitude 2, it just means that, like, when someone has that 11 with it, there's a profound call to teach or to help people, additionally with your sensitivities. And so it's like something's kind of nagging at you where you always want to improve yourself because you know that life is more than just you. And everything that you've gone through, the 11 is the wounded healer. So everything that you, the wounded teacher. Wow, my brain is really sharp today. The wounded teacher. And so it is about taking everything that has happened to you and learning what it meant and why you had to go through it, and helping other people going through their own wounds and confusions and being a guiding light. And so naturally a 2 is very sensitive and can understand people very easily and is a natural empath. But the 11 calls you to be in the teacher role, because the 1 is all about leading and the 1 is all about opening up energy and accessing new energy. So it invites you to do more than just be sensitive and understand people. It's actually, you'll be a great leader because you can understand people and fulfill the needs of people. So that's a journey within itself. And you said, I've been seeing a lot of energy around me, kind of feeling an expansion. I don't know how to explain it, but everything has changed. Yeah, we go through these downloads and these expansions. I think that's, if you're, so Kristina said she's been practicing for 25 years, doing this much longer. And that's kind of that's par for the course, right? We have these shifts always. And so we're just validating that to you, that means you're on the right track. If you're having another shift, that's part of being an energy sensitive being.
Right.
You've transcended into the 5D. So now you'll be continuing to shift and upgrade and shift and upgrade.
Right. My friend Glenn calls this shifting timelines. So you're literally like shifting from one experience to another, and it's almost like living in different dimensions where, it's like we've been in this particular 3D dimension, but now you're more into the 5D dimension, and it's shifting your timelines. I'm sure that you have noticed that time is changing for you as well. It either goes really fast or really slow. Maybe sometimes you're moving forward in time, sometimes you're moving backwards in times. People have been time traveling within like an hour or two and not even realizing they're doing it. Um, there's a lot going on with this energy that is so much more than we have been taught to understand. So, yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't know how to explain that.
Okay. She's saying she understands the confirmation. Absolutely. And she says, exactly, I want to help those who have been going through trauma as well. And so you are the wounded teacher.
Yes.
You are the wounded teacher.
Awesome.
The wounded that becomes the master teacher. Okay. So you've transcended, or you're continuing to transcend, and you'll become the master teacher. You'll have mastery of yourself so much that you can heal others through this. So that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful that you're doing that. And Starseed, yes, you can ask the question, because if it's just the comment, no worries. Sometimes things get lost in translation with comments, right? It's like, texting. If you want to ask your question, you can. And then we're going to start to wrap it up in just a moment. So if there's any people that you want to go to really quick as we start to wrap it up.
I just want to say, Angela, I agree with you that the timelines are collapsing. Yeah. I agree with you. Time is really fast. It's going crazy. Yeah.
Everyone has different archetypes sometimes. If how can I put it? If it's accurate to you and you're getting if you're reading people and they're consistently telling you, yes, that fits, then there's an archetype that you are connected to. So it's not about being right or wrong. Traditionally, the 11 is about being the master teacher. Like you're wounded, and through healing you ascend to become the master teacher, and the evolvement of that. The 33 is the master healer. It's very Jesus energy. So like 33 is 6, and it's all about service, and it's all about how you become this motherly or fatherly figure to your community, and you're out in the world and you're serving. The teacher sometimes is a cerebral of, how am I going to teach? How am I going to spread the message? How am I going to spread what I've learned, right? To help people understand this concept of they can do it differently. The 3 is such a social number, and the 6, so in master numbers, you look at 2 numbers. Because you're looking at the 3 and the 6. Okay, so that's the only time you look at both numbers with a master number. And this is all about hands-on service, being one of the people, guiding the people, but being one of the people, and getting your hands dirty, and having these personal connections with people. And the 11 has it's a little bit of a different connotation. So there's different archetypes for the different master numbers, and you could have learned from a different system. So nothing's wrong or right. It's just with Pythagorean numerology, 11 is the master teacher. It is the master teacher. 22 is the master builder. 33 is the master healer, and we could go and so forth and so forth. He's saying, am I getting new abilities? I'm a psychic medium, and I channel regularly, but I feel like I'm ready to channel through a meditative state, like something wants to come through. What do my guides? Okay. And you're saying makes sense, 33 relates to Yasha. Yeah, it's the Jesus number. Exactly. So I think, this is something that Kristina knows a lot about. She's a trance medium.
Yes. Yes,
I think that's a
I
good question.
go into a meditative state and they come through me, the higher beings. I'm very particular about who I allow to use my body, though. That's something that I wanted to say was if you're going to start doing trance mediumship or trance channeling, make sure that you are very clear with your spirit guides and with the universe about the energies that you allow to come through. I am very particular about that. I have my guides that are kind of my gatekeepers, and they make sure that if someone doesn't have a high vibe, they're not getting in. They're just not getting in. So just be careful about that. Um, if something wants to come through, just make sure that you have a very strong relationship with your spirit guides and with your guardian angels or whoever it is that you're talking to. Make sure that you have a very strong relationship with them so that they are making sure that you stay safe. That's a good one to work with.
Yep.
Archangel Michael is a good one to work with. Yeah, he will definitely make sure he's got your back.
Yes, yes. The archangels are incredible, and he'll push anything out that does not feel comfortable. So I would say if you're in a meditative state, get ready to learn about your energy, and you will feel the push and pull effects. And I would highly recommend getting a teacher or a mentor because they're going to break down what's happening. It's more than we can do in just this show.
Right.
But there are a lot of changes within the body when you merge with spirit or you allow them to come in on a deeper level where you're sharing space. There's a lot of processes that happen that are incredibly normal that might make some people feel uncomfortable, but they're just incredibly normal with the process.
Right. It takes a lot of trust to turn your body over to someone else. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just a blending. It's just like for me, it's just like you're holding hands with somebody, but then you're sharing the same hand as then you continue to hold the hand more and
Right.
more, and then you are their hand and they are your hand, and that can become trippy.
It can. It sure can. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's mostly after I have channeled like that, I don't really remember what's said. I don't really remember the messages that come through. And typically when I'm doing that, somebody is asking questions. So I trust whoever else is in the room with me to tell me what happened because I don't remember.
Yeah, that's another, like, whether it's a mentor or someone you trust, they can like tell you about kind of what you said, because when you're really really in trance, if you're like somewhat in trance, maybe you could automatic rights
Right.
or remember some things, but if you've actually merged, you're probably not going to remember what happened
Right.
that much. And so you might, yeah, it's important to be around a community that can support you while you feel like you're guided more towards exploring a certain energetic state.
Right.
That's all I'll say.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Starseed says it's not that I want to do it, it's more like I feel it. Yeah, and if you're feeling it and you're being called to it, yeah, I totally get that. I had no intention of ever channeling. I had no intention of ever trance channeling. I didn't even think it was a thing until it happened to me. So, yeah, it's just try to have someone around you that you trust who can, take care of your physical self and your physical environment, especially at the beginning.
Absolutely. This is a good question. I guess we'll end on this one. Is
Okay.
trans channeling giving up your sovereignty?
Not for me. I don't feel like that. No. I do feel like Kelly explained it, like it's like we're sharing a space. Um, Especially when I channel the Christ consciousness. That is the only one I channel with my eyes open, but it's really interesting because when I channel the Christ consciousness, not only are my eyes open, but I can see as though I have different eyes. So I see people's auras differently. I see the environment almost like uh, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like when they the camera tricks that they use for, like, film and stuff when they're filming, like, paranormal stuff or angel stuff, where they have those special effects. That's more what it looks like for me when I'm channeling Christ consciousness. That's what I see through my eyes when I'm doing that. It is not for me giving up my sovereignty because I am choosing and agreeing to share my space, but when they leave completely, and I am back 100% to myself.
Yes. This is such an important question because you're allowing them to come in at any point. If you don't want them in, they go out. Like,
Yeah.
how can I put it? When they're in when they're sharing your space, you're actually in the background observing.
Mhm.
You're not gonna remember necessarily what you're saying, but you are actually observing and you can tell what's happening. It's like kind of like if you've ever woken up from a dream, if you kind of just reassociate and go, what was that dream about? It's gonna seem foggy. You're not gonna remember it, but if you really focus, as you're coming back, you can start to remember details, right?
Right.
And when you're used to that energy, a part of you is still conscious while it's happening. So you're never not free. You never don't know what's going on. It's just you're letting them tell their story. And as a medium, um, like with mental mediumship, which is different, I'm not going to be aware of necessarily what everything I guess is being said through me, but I am aware while it's happening. And if
Right.
anything does not feel right with me, I can come back in at any point. Another thing that I want to say that I felt is really important, and then I will just close, was channeling. Do you give it? Okay, this is what, okay, so Spirit told me to talk about this. To me, like spirit work, largely to me is like falling in love. I think spirit is love a lot. Okay. I think like in love, you get scared. You go, how close should I allow this person to come? Are they the right fit for me? All right. Is this person of the same level as me? And how does that look when I'm getting to know people and energies? And I'm scared to let this person in, right? But then when you start to learn about yourself and you start to learn about your spirit and your power, you learn that you call the shots of who you let into your life. You call the shots of how spirit works with you, and you can always tell them no if it's not the right fit, if it's not the perfect match. And they're going to teach you a lot about your love. In love, you learn a lot about yourself and why you're afraid of the things that you do, and also how to become braver with the things that you do. Spirit will teach you that too. Okay. So for me, you always have your sovereignty. In love, you always have your sovereignty. Doesn't it feel like sometimes you don't, though? I can't control how my heart feels. No, you can always control your heart feels. It might just be a new sensation. Same with trance mediumship compared to mental mediumship. It feels very different. It can feel scary. It's not a scary thing. You always have your choice. That's how I'm going to
Right.
put it.
That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Keith asked me for my website. So
Oh, hey, yeah, pop it down. I'll pop it down too. Oh, you already popped it down, so I can just highlight it.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I put it in there. Thank you, Keith, for asking. Wow, my voice just went.
I know.
This has been such a great discussion, and I really wish that we could have gotten to everyone, but honestly, we would be here for days trying to answer all these questions.
Well, also, you're recovering from a cold, and basically, I'm getting one, so the energy is kind
Right.
of funny. The
It
energy is a
is
little funny.
little
Where I'm
yeah.
like, I'm happy to be here, but the energy is a little funny with my cold.
Yep, we're on opposite sides here, so yeah. I hope yours goes quicker than mine.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so too. I believe it will.
Yeah.
So everyone, thank you for being with here.
Yes, thank
I
you.
can't even talk. Thank you for being with here. Thank you for being here with us today. Oh my
There you
goodness.
go.
And just please continue to Go with love, luck, and light. And don't forget to live. And Kristina, would you like to say anything before we close as well?
I would just like to say thank you all so much. I'm sorry we didn't get to all your questions, but I hope that you did get something from the answers that came through for other people. I know that this is kind of like the weirdest time ever in human history. So um, thank you for just trying to hold on and get through it. So,
Thank you, everybody. Hang in there.
yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.